What's up guys, Chasing Lamely here for episode number 26 of our Williams Revival here on F1 Manager 22, and in today's episode we're going to Spa-Francorchamps. We're in the mid-season break though as we speak, so we've got a lot of work to do to get stuff done, and when I say a lot of work to do, we need to work on this car. That is step number one. So, we have 25 days until the Belgian Grand Prix. I am halting development for this season's car unless I do need to do something minor after the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. So as you can see, we've got underfloor coming in 10 days, and then rear wing and side pods coming in 33 days. 33 days should bring us nicely to Zandvoort, I believe. So we should be quite quick at Zandvoort. We need to get as many fast parts on the car as we can, and as quickly as we possibly can. We currently can't do any design because we need to complete our design centre, which, as you can see, is not quite fully there yet. We do need to find $32 million to be able to do a upgrade to our car part design centre, and we're not there financially yet. So at the mid-season point, we are doing okay. Let's have a little look at where we stand in terms of everything else. We sit fourth in the Teams Championship. We are going to be sitting 7th and 9th at the break in the drivers, with Piastri on 29 points just behind George Russell, and Teo Porsche on 11 points just ahead of Valtteri Bottas, and Fernando Alonso sandwiched nicely in between. So we're in the mix. We're not out of the running just yet. We just need to get a good run of form together. We've also been thinking about the future of Teo Porsche. He is going to survive the summer break. I'm going to see how he does until the end of the season. Had a long old think about it, and what essentially is happening is that I signed him as a cheap young driver on a 5-year contract so we could build up the funds so that we could build all of our infrastructure up and really make a go of it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep him around until such time as he proves so thoroughly unreliable that I cannot get any results from him. We're going to move forward towards the Belgian Grand Prix, get the days ticking down. Scouting is going to complete on a thing. That's going to be going. Don't even know who that scouting complete is for. We have an up-and-coming driver in Ollie Behrman. We do like Ollie Behrman, so he will probably be someone we give a scout to. In fact, I should have a scouting slot free. I do, but I've already scouted him. Don't know why I was looking. I knew that and everything. Don't know why I thought about it. Right, Gus Schumann is a driver we have scouted, and we'll have a little look at his profile, see what he looks like. High growth potential, average aggression. That's not terribly useful knowledge, but we'll make it work somehow, and we'll carry on with our important news as best we can in the inbox. So, what else have we got here? Weather centre in poor condition. I am going to throw some money at the weather centre to refurbish it. I was hoping actually to do an upgrade on it, so we might hold off on that just because that upgrade is probably going to be affordable either before or straight after Belgium, and a helipad is in poor condition, which do we need to refurbish that? Probably do. We'll spend 150k, get that refurbished. It's just a bit of tarmac. What damage can it do? So, carrying on forward. Sponsorship obligations being carried out. No money coming in from those just yet, which is all good. Underfloor design is complete. That's a good sign for us, though. So we will get some underfloors built. 15 days to get that done. So we've got plenty of time to get that broken off. And we'll have a little look just to see what the big difference is here. So that will move us up into 7th and 5th in terms of top speed and acceleration. Big boost in low speed cornering and a good boost in medium speed cornering, which should give us a fighting chance if we need to get that done. We're going to have a look at manufacturing. We're not going to necessarily need to rush that. I don't think we want 3 of them. I suppose if we do 4 of them, we're probably laughing. But let's do 5. Screw it. Let's do 5. Let's spend the money. Why not? We've got the money. We'll spend the money. Right, design-wise, I'm going to do a chassis because I want more top speed. That is very much the focus of my attention at the moment, is just getting more top speed out of the car as quickly as I possibly can. So we'll do that. We're going to go focused on optimized aero, which is going to give us another big boost. Try and put our drag reduction up. That's going to help us a little bit. And engine cooling, I'm not overly worried about. So we'll just do that. That should get us underway nice and calmly. We can't get that in for the Belgian Grand Prix. We should be able to get that in for for Monza. So we'll do that. We'll go intense as well, because then we'll get the research points. research is going to become the thing we do after Monza as well. So that'll be very, very important. Underfloor design complete is good stuff. Let's carry on with doing what we do. More scouting to complete. Pierre Gasly has been scouted. So has Esteban Ocon. Just interested in when their contracts are expiring, just in case I need that information down the line. In fact, let's have a little look. Scouting the other drivers. I just want to have a look at the F1 drivers, really, to see when they might become available and how soon that might be. I'm going to have a look at Lewis Hamilton, because if there's a possibility of getting Lewis in a car, you kind of have to do it. He is, after all, Lewis. We are not going to outgun Ferrari or Red Bull anytime soon to get someone interested, so that's not a major concern. We'll have a little look at George Russell because, you know, again, good young driver, could be of use to us. And I think the final guy we're going to have a little look at, just to get him fully scouted, I think I would like to have a look at Yuki. Let's have a look at Yuki, because he might have a little bit more potential than I have perhaps given any consideration to previously. And if Yuki can help us out, maybe we'll do that. That will work out nicely. Right, we've got a new helipad refurbished, remade, regonned, good. Everyone is happy, and we'll carry on what we're doing. Manufacturing, of course, completing on some parts as we head towards the Belgian Grand Prix, just to make life nice and easy and cushy for us. Facility upgrade complete. I can't even remember which facility that is we were upgrading. We've manufactured all of our chassis though, so that's good. That's going to help us out. We'll make sure we've got all the best parts on the car before we go into the Belgian Grand Prix, because the faster we are, the better it will be. Let's see what facility we're getting from the upgrade here. We're getting a brand new team hub. That's shiny and new. That's going to help us to gain more experience for our drivers, which ultimately is quite a solid investment, I think. And I'll see if we need to build another one. Team hub upgrade for that is $6.5 million. That's fine. That's going to help us improve our drivers and our engineers, which is what's going to be really important. Right, we've made it through to the practice days, which is good. Let's have a little look just to make sure no one's gained any development points. Roberto Pellegrini gains one. We're going to put that on airflow management, because I think that's going to be... Let's go sensitivity for this one. And she's taken an upgrade in overall rating. Beautiful stuff. Excellent. Right, anyone else for anything else? Anyone getting... David Schumacher's having gains. Good stuff. Okay, we're going to give David Schumacher a boost in cornering. For now, just to start the march towards him actually improving as a driver. Right, let's have a little look at the build of the car. Make sure we've got all the best parts on it. I think number 5 is that one. Good. Front wing, any change needed there? Not quite. Rear wing, I have a feeling we're either designing one or we build one, we're designing one. Side pods, I think we're at the best we can be for that one. Underfloor, I know we just built one, so we'll put that on car 1 and on car 2. That should be quite helpful. And then suspension, where are we at for this? Have we got the best one on? We do. Okay, let's look at car analysis, shall we? For the Belgian Grand Prix, 9th and 7th for Belgium, so, you know, we're up there. Probably top 8 points is available. And high-speed corners, 5th, good. High-speed dirty, yeah, not so good, but that's fine. Top speed acceleration of the DRS, not the best it could be, but I think we'll be okay for now for getting ourselves a point today. So we'll look at the performance targets. Qualifying position wants us to get 14th. That should be fairly achievable. I think we're going to say we're going to get 1 car in Q3, 2 cars in Q2. That feels like I've prepared for every eventuality, except me, of course, forgetting to send the cars out, which has happened more than once this season. Okay, so we will see what we can do in terms of... Let's go for both drivers in the top 10. I think that's achievable. That's 1 driver in the points, hopefully. Both drivers in the top 10. Fastest lap, finish position, we've done that. And we've got finishing position, qualifying position, streak, all ready to go. Let's have a little look just to see what else is in here. Race prep, race forecast, partly cloudy. It's not raining, so that's nice. Board confidence, we're doing well. Financial report, we've got money, and the monthly car development report, we are okay. We're not doing too shabbily. So let's go to the race weekend, and I'll see you after qualifying. So that's qualifying in the books then. Q3 come and gone. Max Verstappen taking pole, but it is only provisional pole. He has a grid penalty for tomorrow. Sergio Perez will take actual pole on the front row next to his teammate. Carlos Sainz is in third, Charles Leclerc in fourth, George Russell in fifth. Oscar Piastri takes sixth place outright, so he will start fifth on the front of the third row of the grid for the race. Esteban Ocon starts seventh, Lewis Hamilton eighth. Théo Pourchaire qualifies ninth. He has had a horrendous qualifying. He just keeps binning it in practice and qualifying. He's taken a grid penalty because he managed to smash up his only good engine in practice 3. That helped me out a lot. Pierre Gasly takes P10. Bottas, Vettel, Stroll, Alonso, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Norris, Albon, Tsunoda and Guan Yu Zhou make up the rest of the grid. But obviously, grid penalties, the bottom 10 is going to essentially be Tsunoda, Albon, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Bottas, Gasly, Pourchaire in reverse order. Maybe Max Verstappen in there, depending how many penalties he has taken. So, we're going to go into the race and see what happens.
The time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
Qualifying went well for Williams, as attested by their strong position on the grid. Now it's all about finding that edge for the race itself. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. And the sun is shining bright here today. This is perfect weather for teams and drivers alike to show us what they're capable of.
Well, no one can ever predict what will happen at Spa-Francorchamps, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be eventful.
So, an eventful race apparently going to happen. It's partly cloudy. It has had some rain over the weekend in Q2, but I'm not expecting big rains to happen at any point. Strategy-wise, it's a big question for today. I'm just wondering, is it quicker to have Pourchaire go from softs to hards? I think it probably is. I think we can get him a few places, get him in early, and then let him take it to the bucket. That's going to be the plan. If we get an early safety car, things might change. But otherwise, I think that's going to be the strategy for Pourchaire. And with Piastri, we'll go with the slightly more conservative mediums to hards, because we do have the ability to at least play with burning off some tyres there if we want to. See, we can just do that, and that's happy days all the way through. We'll see how that goes for him. Right, so that's our plan for the day. We're going to try and get Piastri as far up the field as we possibly can. We're going to go into the big pace mode for the start of the race. I'm just thinking fuel-wise, I think I might add 3. I'd rather just fill her up. Just fill her up, why not? We'll fill her up and we'll see what happens. That's always a good plan. Fill up the car, see what happens. We'll be a bit slower off the line, but that's not the worst thing in the world. And we're going to go with the overtake strategy for Pourchaire, who is just starting 11th, so that's actually worked out okay. Taking that grid penalty, he could still be in for some very, very good points today, and that has got me rethinking the strategy slightly. Do I want to take the gamble? I think we will. I was just thinking, if we take the gamble and we gain a little bit of time here and there, that's probably not the worst thing we can do. So we're going to do that, and we'll give him a little bit more time to play with off the line. And we'll see if we can get ourselves a good result. That sounds good to me. Let's go get it done, shall we?
We have beautiful blue skies overhead as the drivers line up on the grid. Looking at the Williams now. They might not be in the top 3 spots, but things could change fast once the race gets underway. And looking at the second Williams car. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. And we're just moments away now. You can hear the excitement in the crowd here at the Belgian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And away we go indeed. We're off the line. Piastri still in fifth. Pourchaire dropping a place straight off the grid to Valtteri Bottas. That's not going to be the worst thing that could happen today. because I think he'll still be able to push through and get himself in a good position fairly quickly. Let's have a look at what people are doing on tyres. We've got
just moved
a couple of cars. We're not going to watch the overtake. It was just him getting better traction off the line. We've got Sainz and Vettel on softs, Guan Yu Zhou on softs, Tsunoda and Ricciardo on softs. Does tell me maybe there is a softs to hard strategy available that was good, but everyone else seems to have gone with mediums to hards. So we're going to assume that is going to be the best strategy to be playing with so far this weekend. Right, so Porsche doing well, Piastri in a little bit of a battle with Ocon, but I'm sure he'll overcome very shortly because that just tends to be what Piastri does. I can't imagine that Alpine is staying in front of us for very long in this race. It just doesn't seem very likely. I think we'll get past him pretty quickly. Vettel flying very, very high in the AlphaTauri. Stroll as well, actually. The AlphaTauris must have come on very, very strong over the summer break. But of course, we have added some speed to the car as well. We're going to be in the mix right there through to the end. That's what we're looking for. And we're doing okay, keeping everyone honest. We can still see the leader at this stage of the race. That's always a benefit. And hopefully we'll still be able to see him once DRS opens, because once DRS becomes an option, then we are laughing. Let's have a little look at the weather, just to be on the safe side. Weather-wise, looks like we've not got more than a 40% chance of rain throughout the race. That's pretty good. That'll keep us at least out of trouble with changeable weather conditions for now. And hopefully we can just get ourselves through this race looking good, looking sharp and looking strong, and get ourselves a good result today. Let's go double speed just to make things go by a little bit quicker. That feels like it's always a good option, as Ocon appears to be pulling away from us. But of course DRS will open at the end of this lap. He will have to try and pull away from us by more than a second by the end of this lap to have any chance of this playing off and holding on to his top 5 position. Can't see it happening. Meanwhile, Porsche has dropped Zhou by a second. That was inevitable. He's kind of the cork in the bottle, is Guan Yu Zhou, holding back the cars behind him, including Max Verstappen. And he is ruining Max Verstappen's weekend right now, because if no one gets past him, then he will quite happily just drop back off of Porsche. We can go on board with Porsche. You can't even see him. Can't even see him. That's how good a job he's doing. And we can see him now.
We'll have DRS.
Now we'll have DRS. That's good news from our engineers. We'll bear that in mind. And thankfully, Verstappen now stuck behind Magnussen and Zhou. We'll see them turn around the corner in just a second. There is a battle going on there, but I don't know if Verstappen's going to be able to power past them both going down towards Eau Rouge and Radion. It looks good from here. Looks like we're still building up that gap, and that's what we really want to be doing as DRS opens up for us. And now we are away having fun and laughing, and behind us Zhou Verstappen and Magnussen are going to be in battle. Piastri has just pulled off an overtake on Ocon. We'll watch the replay of that in a second. Once we get it, I am going to have to push Piastri to get him onto the back of the cars ahead of him. And let's have a look at the replay.
Now we see the Williams
straight out the DRS zone, into the braking zone, and just makes that one stick through the chicane. Good stuff. Nice work, and now we can get onto the back of the Mercedes ahead of us, and we should be laughing at that point. The garage are very happy, so that is always a winner for us as well. We'll take that victory as we can get it. And it's George Russell that we're trying to push up onto the back of. We should be able to get onto the back of him fairly comfortably, and if we can get onto the back of him and hold there through the DRS zones, I think we'll be okay to stay in contention for a win here. That's not out of the realms of possibility at all. So we will keep an eye on Piastri pulling ever closer to George Russell. He is going to need to get some good traction down, some good speed down through here. Maison Blanc we're going through here, and I can never what these corners are called, because my brain does not remember corners very well, and I'm not organised enough to put a track map up in front of us. Either way, we're coming up towards the bus stop chicane. Everyone knows the bus stop chicane. Are we going to get within a second here? I don't think we are. I think we've just fallen outside, unfortunately. Although, having said that, we have got inside it. We've got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And that is going to be something to savour for us if we can make it stick. We're going to try our best to get onto the back of George Russell, going through Eau Rouge and Radion. And if you can't remember which is which, we'll talk you through the old-fashioned way. That's Eau Rouge, this is Radion. Nice and easy. See, everyone should know those corners because they're the only ones anyone does know. Yuki Tsunoda's gone off track, that's not great. Verstappen now has an opportunity to catch us up as well, which is not great either. We're trying to stay on the back of Valtteri Bottas, keep him honest, and that's not going to help us tremendously either. I don't know how Piastri is saving more ERS than Pourchaire when Piastri has been instructed to try and push and catch up to George Russell. Either way, let's stay on board with Pourchaire now because he's the man in the action. Bottas just ahead of him, Alonso just ahead of Bottas, Lance Stroll ahead of him, and we should just be able to see Lewis Hamilton in the distance just to make things a little bit more interesting. So Pourchaire is going to be the man looking for the big overtakes at this stage in the race, and hopefully he'll be able to find some. Let's go into double speed because you've got to believe we can get ourselves somewhere close to the back of Bottas and stay there at this point. Meanwhile, Piastri still trying to catch up with George Russell, but of course Russell staying in DRS range of Leclerc is going to make that a problem for us because we cannot get DRS if George Russell is trying to push himself away from us. That is going to be a real problem for us, and we've got to hope that he can get dropped by Leclerc just enough that he falls back towards us and we can start pulling him in, leapfrog him, and then get ourselves onto the back of Leclerc, who is in a solid battle with Perez just behind Carlos Sainz at the moment. Either way, things going pretty well, I think we'd have to say, for us on this score, being 5th. We've got to get 2 more points-paying finishes for the season to achieve our objective, which I think is very doable. Piastri desperately needs to get onto the back of George Russell as quickly as he can. He's rapidly running out of ERS. And once he runs out of ERS, we're in real trouble because we're not going to get anywhere near George after that. If he doesn't, we have not quite got there. We tried our best and we failed miserably, and the lesson was at least we tried. Right, let's have a look at Taylor Pourchaire. What's he doing? Not much to surprise or shock or any of us. Kind of having a look at Valtteri, but not really. I mean, he should have the ability to get past him. He should have the car to do it. Should certainly have the engine to do it. We're just kind of stuck watching Lance Stroll drop away behind Lewis Hamilton. And honestly, I think we're all being held up by Stroll. Alonso was at one stage second fastest in qualifying, and it didn't really work out for him in the grand scheme of things. He has found himself in the weeds a little bit, but he's stuck with us in the weeds because we're all just staring at the back of Lance Stroll, hoping to find a way past. Not really the one for us, if we're all completely honest. Piastri is very much being dropped by George Russell at this stage, which is also not the one. Russell is staying in DRS of Leclerc and Sainz and Perez. We don't know where Perez came from. Perez was behind Sainz. He's overtaken for the lead, I remember now. So that top 4 looks like it's gone, and we're just trying to stay, honestly, in 5th at the moment with Piastri. Meanwhile, Pourchaire is still going to be staring at the back of Bottas, I think probably until the end of his life at this rate, because he's not looking to make a move. I don't know if it's just because he doesn't think there's a gap between Bottas and Alonso for him to drop back into if he makes the overtake, but fortune favours the bold, and Mange 2, Rodney, and all that good stuff. I think we should be able to pull something off here. You'd have to hope we can get something maybe into the bus stop. Let's have a little look at the bus stop, Taylor. What can we do here? We're just not going to go for it. We just need to get through something somewhere, because otherwise we're in real trouble. DRS open, and I don't know if we've got enough to be able to push ourselves through here. Bottas seems to have gapped us. What on earth was that?
Now we see
what
the Williams
on
here.
earth? We approached so fast there with the lockup that it, honest to God, looked to me like Bottas had stopped. Pourchaire has apparently decided that with all the questioning I've been doing about whether or not we replace him with Valtteri Bottas, that he's going to try and take him out. We have got a safety car though, which is going to be tremendously helpful, especially given that we have no front wing. That does actually help us immensely. We're going to go early on to the... I'm doing that for, and he didn't change the front wing. Good stuff. Car parts. I don't have a front wing. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Okay. Good work, Teo. You've managed to break all of our front wings through the course of the race. I don't know how I can help with that. I think we should put too far away from the window on the hards. I think we're going to have to ignore that one. And I don't know if we keep Porsche out, honestly. There's part of me saying we'll just take the freebie on the new engine and we're just going to retire him. I think that's probably the safest bet. I hate retiring a car with a front. How badly damaged is the front wing? It's terminal. Do you know, we're just going to retire the car. I hate having to do it, but we are just going to retire the car because it really, really isn't worth keeping it out there with a damaged chassis and with no front wing. We're just going to hope that Piastri can bring home the glory today. I don't know why I'm wasting all of the tyres and the fuel. We are going to retire though. Teo Porsche off the field, off the track. Bit of a shame for him, really, because I thought we'd have a really good race today. I did think he would be able to get himself good points, maybe even a podium, and it was just a silly lockup. But Porsche has had 3 or 4 silly lockups over the course of this race weekend. He's not been on top form, and I do feel a little bit like perhaps we could have done better. I don't know if what I want to do here is, do I want to take advantage of getting maybe a free pit stop? If I take a free pit stop here, put on a fresh set of mediums, they will technically go to the end, but obviously we can't do that. Is there an argument for... I'm going to say yes. Let's go into a set of hards. Let's 2-stop this. Make hay while the sun shines. I've just got a feeling that if we can get ourselves up ahead, because the only car on softs ahead of us is Carlos Sainz. I don't think anyone else is going to come in. I don't think we're going to lose a big pile of time or positions in the grand scheme of things. So we'll take the cheap pit stop, we'll get ourselves on faster tyres, and we'll see if we can make some points happen here. I don't think we're going to lack for the pace to get ourselves back up on the hards if we need to, but I'm just thinking, if I can get a good soft stint going here, get us out in a good position, get some good overtakes coming off the back of the safety car, can we maybe go onto a set of mediums to the end after this stint and get ourselves in a position where, after Magnussen managed to lock up under the safety car, can we get ourselves into a position where we can get some overtakes done here, some cheeky overtakes done here, and get ourselves a good fast car for the end of the race to take it to the finish? We're going to zoom through the safety car in this lap. That's not the biggest issue in the world because we are going to have to wait for things to go. We're looking okay, and they used softs because all our softs are used from qualifying. But we could be okay doing that. I'm going to wait to do the pausing and we'll see how we go off of the line here. We're going to go full push, full overtake. Let's see what we can get done from the restart. I would like to believe we can probably pick up a couple of cheeky positions. I don't even, I can't. What the hell, guys? What the hell? Okay. We've done tremendously well. So let's have a look at the crash and see what happened there, shall we? Why? Why? virtual safety car, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this information. I don't know what to do. I think we're going to zoom to the end because we are at least in 10th. I don't think there's going to be much we can do with a very damaged front wing. Let's have a little look at the offboard, see how bad it really looks. I mean, it's not there, is it? We haven't at least broken the chassis, but I have a feeling we're going to drop like a stone. We're 9 laps into the race and we've potentially lost both of our cars already. And I can't pretend that I'm at all happy with this as an outcome. I'll be honest, I think Piastri's had a nightmare there. And we're not going to catch because we've got nothing. We've got nothing to offer. We're just going to drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. And I am just going to have to save the engine and go for the retirement and save face as little as we can. I don't know what to tell you guys. I think we're going to retire the car. Let's do that. We'll bring her in. For the sake of, we had 5 front wings before this race, and just poor Cher has gone through them all weekend. He's just gone through them all weekend. We'll see where he pulls over. Hopefully he's smart enough to pull over in the garage rather than pulling over somewhere stupid. We're not far from the bus stop, so hopefully he'll pull over in a nice place. I have a feeling Porsche just randomly pulled over on the track rather than bringing it home. Is he going to be smart here? Looks like he will be smart and bring it into the garage. Good stuff. Okay, well, I suppose we should see who at least wins the race whilst we're here. So we'll go for a zoom and we'll have a little look and see what the final result of the race is. It's been carnage today, let's be honest. It's not really worked out for us. Verstappen, though, at least has not picked up any points because he's just had an awful day. Possibly as bad a day as an individual as our entire team. It's good to see we can watch from the garage. Let's see what happened to Esteban Ocon, just so we've got some action happening on the episode. He's just binned it into the wall because apparently braking and not turning when you've locked up there, not an option. But who knows? That's just how that goes. We won't worry about what the Alpine team are thinking and saying, what they're doing. There's very little going on there. We can go and have a look at the battle for first if we want. Here's the battle for first between Perez and Leclerc, which could be a decent little battle, if I'm honest. Russell should be well out of it. Where are we at on pit stops here on strategy? And we're okay on strategy, aren't we? We're doing okay. Few cars have switched to hards already. This could go either way. We'll keep going until we get towards the end of the race. We'll have a little look at the last couple of laps. Do a bit of commentary on things that don't concern us whatsoever, to be honest, because Leclerc and Perez have just run away with it. Russell is kind of in dead space. Perez going for the undercut. Great idea from Sergio Perez. And maybe there's a result to be had here. I think Carlos Sainz should be able to put something on. Let's have a look, see how that's shaken up. Leclerc has actually pulled an overcut. Sainz has pulled an undercut on Perez. That could be the strategy play of the day, and it comes from Ferrari. Who knew Ferrari could strategy? Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff for them. I'm going to have to build so many front wings after this race. It's going to drive me mental. At least we've saved some engine power for Zandvoort. That's a good thing. We do, like I said, only need 2 more points paying finishes, but I did feel like today would have been a points paying finish. We'd easily got a point paying finish if only our drivers could keep it on the road. I do occasionally think I want some more reliable drivers rather than this money saving, time saving kind of idea we've got going. But there's a good battle that looks like still going on for first, which is nice. We'll check back in just a second. We'll see what's happening. Sector 2, something's happened. Sure, it wasn't important. Ricardo's having a lock-up. That's always good. I mean, it's all over the place, isn't it? It's all over the place, the back markers. Verstappen has pulled his way back through to 7th, which is nice. Vettel is his next victim. Shouldn't be in front of him for very long, you'd have to think. flag. That's worked out pretty well for Vettel, who's got past Hamilton. So Hamilton must have been the guy who went off. That's probably worked out okay. Crash on turn 18 from Lance Stroll. I think he's probably gone straight on and crashed into the back of a barrier like a complete numpty. It's always exactly the same crash at Spa. Weird that. Feel like for the next iteration of this game we do need more crash animations. That's going to be a big thing. I don't know what's happened in Sector 2. Something's happened in Sector 2. I'm not sure where. Yellow flag happening out there somewhere. We'll see what happens. Down on lap 31. Sebastian Vettel has had a nightmare. What's Seb done? Seb has taken out himself. I thought he'd taken out Hamilton. He didn't. He took out himself. That was probably a driving error. I'm not going to lie. You have probably messed that up, Seb. You've not had the best race of your life there. That was a mistake. Either way, we're still having a good fun time with the front three. Vettel's come in for his pit stop and come out intense, and he should be able to make some real hay here. Vettel on softs could get some cheeky points here. It's not impossible. He'll get some cheeky points. We'll keep an eye on Seb coming up through the timing tree, because I feel like he probably is. He's got past Magnussen already. He should get onto the back of Ocon fairly quickly, you'd think. Well, that said, Magnussen's still keeping him very honest. You'd think he'd get himself onto the back of Ocon fairly quickly and might just sneak a point despite his little excursion out into the wall. He might just have enough to get himself into contention. I don't know if he will, because there's 7 laps to go and he's definitely not making a second and a half a lap on Ocon, but you never know. One lock-up, one crash, one issue, it could go either way. Someone just came in for a pit stop then. We can't work out who it was, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because we're just watching people take points away from us. Let's go lap 41. This is the situation. Leclerc and Sainz 1-2. Perez half a second behind, as rudely interrupted by the world's loudest and slowest moving police officer and fire engine. George Russell and Verstappen make up 4th and 5th. Hamilton, Alonso and Ocon, the rest of the point scorers. Vettel still by no means getting anywhere near it. And you'd have thought he'd have got himself a bit closer, but sadly not. Sadly, it's not to be today for Seb. We're just about to go on to the last lap of the Grand Prix, and there's going to be some overtaking to be done, which should be nice. There's also overtaking, some back markers to be met. Leclerc and Sainz are in a battle currently for the win here. Leclerc and Sainz have both led the race at various stages. Sainz, of course, the reigning world champion in this universe, I seem to remember, which is pretty impressive in the grand scheme of things. Can Charles Leclerc keep him back? And will Guan Yu Zhou, I think that is, in front of him, get involved in deciding the outcome of this race? It isn't impossible that he will, and we've got about a lap and a half left to go of this Grand Prix. Perez still keeping a watching brief behind as well. All it takes is for Zhou to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, move a little bit too late, and this race could go anywhere. It could be Guan Yu Zhou deciding the win of a Formula 1 race. Gets out of the way there. That's Maison Blanche, isn't it? He's just got out of the way of there. And he's let everyone else through, but he's let Leclerc build a little bit of a gap back to Sainz. So Sainz all the work to do to get himself caught back up again. But we are going to meet at least one more back marker on the way through. I can see Yuki Tsunoda on the mini-map and right there on your screens, just ahead, coming through La Source. We have Yuki Tsunoda about to get very involved in a situation for the lead. He's going to be going up Rayon Eau Rouge through the complex there, onto the back DRS straight, and he's going to be doing it with mirrors full of Ferraris and Red Bulls by the time he gets to the end of it. He is going to get lapped on this time round, for sure, you would think. I can't imagine he's staying ahead. And Perez having a little look around the outside, trying to see if there's a gap there, maybe a cheeky position to be had. It's not quite there for him. Sainz is closing on Leclerc. This could go almost any way between these three. I mean, they're all going to be on the podium, but it could go any way between these three. This could finish in any order between the three of them, and Yuki Tsunoda is getting much, much closer to getting lapped by Ferraris. He is in a real position now, just like Guan Yu Zhou was last time around, to be a guy who decides the outcome of this race. He won't be relishing that at all. He's probably put his foot down just to be sure he doesn't get overtaken by Carlos Sainz. He might just get away with finishing the Grand Prix distance. It's not impossible he will, although that Ferrari getting very close to that Haas very, very quickly. Sainz is getting dropped by Leclerc, and it looks like, as we come to the bus stop chicane, it looks like Charles Leclerc is about to take the checkered flag for a victory here at Spa. Carlos Sainz just behind for second place on the podium. Perez will take third. There is no overtake to come here. They're across the stripe, and that is all she wrote for Spa. It's been a decent race up top, I'm sure, from what we've seen, but I cannot pretend that it's gone well for the Williams team. We've picked up penalties for both drivers. They've smashed up the cars. They've just gone full dodgems. And if it wasn't for the fact that I'd said I'm so committed, why are we getting a post-race? Why did you sit there for the entire race? Get out the car in the garage, you numpty. You've just pushed the... That's not the one.
They'll be dissecting that performance back at their headquarters and hopefully coming up with a better strategy for next time.
And after this result, the team is fourth in the constructor standings.
For the next round, Formula One won't be straying too far. We'll be heading to the dunes of Zandvoort and the lightning speed of the Dutch Grand Prix.
Interesting that Crofty and Kroon are blaming my strategy, which was perfect, rather than my drivers and their braking ability, which was not perfect. Luckily, it's not cost any position in the Drivers' Championship. Piastri does drop 5 more points to George Russell, and Alonso very much getting in the picture, but that's a savable loss. Mercedes pick up 8 points on us. Alpine get themselves 3 points closer. And is there going to be any gains? A development point for Piastri. We're probably going to put that into braking. Same for Porsche. Schumacher will pick up something maybe. Probably not, actually. Let's see what we've done financially. Sponsor-wise, we made some money. $5 million. That will do us quite nicely. Okay, let's go and apply those development points, and we will start to wrap things up for the episode. That feels like an excellent plan. I don't know what to say, guys. I was hoping we'd do better than we did today, and we did not do better than we did today. And I'll have to emergency build some front wings, because otherwise we're not going to get them in time for this race. That's got to be said. Okay, let's do a manufacture some front wings, because we don't have any. We are not going to be able to get them done. Right, we're going to build. Let's go on the safe side. We'll build 4 ahead of the Grand Prix weekend, and then what we'll do is we will rush. Let's rush 4 more, because these guys love smashing up a front wing. And then we'll stick those on the car just to make sure they actually have something to drive. That's a good idea. Good stuff. Okay, fully complete cars. That did not go well. Difficult race, I think, probably sums it up. We've got a new ATR period. Where are we at in terms of development? I forgot to check that, actually. Development-wise, we've got everything new coming for the second day of the Dutch Grand Prix. It's a quali. I could emergency them, get them on the car for the Saturday, but it's a risk, isn't it? It's a risk. It's a risk that's probably not worth taking, but it is a risk nonetheless. Either way, we'll see what we can do with that. We'll look at the drivers now, see what we can do with this. One of these controls the ability to not crash. Let's see. This one is smoothness. I think Piastri does need smoothness. He's less crash happy than his partner, so we'll go with that for now. you will need accuracy because reactions. Which one's going to stop you from being an idiot? Lock-up, spins. I mean, let's just go reactions because he doesn't need to get better off the line. Porsche goes up to a 74 overall. There is still hope for him yet as a driver. I was just thinking, is there a way I can swap him to being a test driver? There's not. Doesn't really mean I can't do that. Otherwise, nothing really to report in the grand scheme of things. So, I think we're going to wrap things up there because we're going to come back for the next race in Zandvoort and hopefully better things will happen for the team. Worse things can't happen for the team, so hopefully better things will happen for the team. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. As always, been Chasing Liam. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave the comments, share with your friends, all that good stuff. It all helps the channel out, and frankly, the channel could use the help. So, help me out. It'd be really nice of you. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you all very soon. Until next time, stay safe and have a good one.